Evening,
Good
Dave.
evening. Yeah, you couldn't remember my name there for
Yeah,
a minute.
no, I did know that. No, for some reason, another thought came in my head, and then that threw me off. Anyway, evening, Dave. Evening, everybody. We
Good
are
evening.
checking. Well, how are you? You okay? You got a bit of a cough, right?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I'm going to sound a bit rough for this stream, I think. But yeah, otherwise, all right. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really good. I'm looking forward to playing this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a game that called ScourgeBringer, which came out last week, I believe.
Okay.
And it's in early access on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched Giant Bob did a quick look, and I watched it on Sunday. I was going to play Frostpunk, and we will come back to Frostpunk. We're also going to be playing. I've been playing some games.
You've got a list.
I've got a list. And also actually, Nick, someone, a student, suggested a game today that we totally should look at, which I've written down. That's on my list as well. It sounds quite a lot like Making It Home, so we should totally do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this and I thought we need to play this week because it just came out and I think there's lots we can learn from it. And also it's on Game Pass, so I already owned it.
What?
I know. So yeah, it's on Game Pass. It's on Steam, and it's coming to consoles after early access, I believe. So things like we're playing these games like we're playing games to try and learn stuff from them in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And so things I thought we could learn from this, and so I think keep an eye out for these things, right? So because firstly, this is an early access game.
Okay.
Like, so what is there here to start with? It's a successful early access game. It was in the top selling games on Steam last week.
What?
Yeah, which is also good because it's on Game Pass, which means people are still buying games on Steam. So that's number one, is early access. At what stage is this? This is a good version of early access. Like, what have they done? How have they done that well?
Yeah.
Secondly, it's a roguelite game.
Okay.
How is the onboarding with this? And we've been talking a lot about in Making It Home about restarting a run, how that feels, how you make that feel good. Third thing is the movement and the combat. I think is very interesting and something we can totally think about how they do it. It's done very well.
Okay.
So I'm gonna jump into
whoa, can I add a fourth thing before we go any further? It's pixel art, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, that was the other thing, like the animation and the art. So
yeah. Because that's obviously pretty relevant to what we're doing.
Yeah, so what
I'm doing.
I would love it if you and everyone in the chat chipped in with or if they spot anything in that vein. Thinking about things, and because it's a pretty full-on game, I'm going to be going in. I've also gone in blind because I want to get that onboarding process. We're going on this onboarding, which means kind of like a new player coming into the game.
Yeah, I mean, what I like to call the Dave approach to games. I haven't played this before. Let's see how badly I can do.
Cool. So, okay, let's look at the settings menu because I just wanted to show the accessibility options, which I think are nice. So there's an auto slash. These will make more sense when we actually start going, but I'm leaving these all on. I'm not messing with them. But there's some interesting stuff here.
Game speed
I thought interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, let's jump in. I'm going to click new game for the first time. Do I read text? We don't know where it came from and why it started to spread. The scourge across our lands. But, okay. I hadn't finished reading that game. The countless deaths it brought is our new reality. Some nice kind of key art here, I think. Would you call it key art?
Yeah, you could do. Your head is over a lot of the text, by the way.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Okay, now. Yeah. We ventured in it, hoping to find answers. No one has ever returned from its depths. Okay, this does sound like a roguelike. Kyra, go forth, my child. You are the strongest of our clans, our last light. May you accomplish the impossible task of repelling this ordeal. I'm guessing that's us.
Yeah.
the ScourgeBringer awaits.
Dun, dun, dun. I mean, they're lucky that artwork is so nice to look at, right?
Lucky is, I mean, like they made it.
They made it in a way that it's beautiful to look at.
Yeah. So
kind of like
Go on.
Well, it's just like I mean, it's fine. It's a non-cutscene, but that's kind of a cutscene.
Yeah. So this is a small team, 2 people.
Nice.
French team.
Cool.
And just to point that out there. Okay, hostile environment detected, enabling anti-threat protocols to proceed with caution. Okay, so at the moment, I've not been told any controls.
Okay.
Right, just to make that clear. Jump.
Are you playing on controller or keyboard?
I am playing on controller.
I thought as much. Thought I'd check.
So I'm going to go... Right. Okay. So, right. Oh, no, it's on the right there, you can see. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah, arrows. Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Is that just giving you a double jump?
Yeah. Oh, okay, right. So I've got a double jump. If I hold, I'll hold a jump, I jump higher. Okay. So if I hold,
it's a double jump. Ooh, okay.
So if I tap, I don't jump as high as if I double jump, if I hold down the button.
So you got to hop, tap and hold, tap and hold.
Yeah. Okay, down and A to go down. That's a nice... Okay, so that's an interesting way of doing the... So
Tutorials.
I can climb. Is those images on the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Lockdown in progress. Unknown threat spotted. Suggesting dispatch using force to lift the lockdown. So X is going to be my attack.
I love how these leaving Nacho. I love how these these dialogue boxes are like sci-fi words with words that sound like sci-fi.
Slug kebab. It's got 1 HP. Okay, there we go. So I've got this attack. Then I can. Interestingly, I can kind of stay in the air quite a long time by hitting the attack button. Okay.
I love how you're just mostly hair.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what that is.
So out of range enemies suggest dash attack. So a dash with the right bumper. That's interesting. Right, okay, that's going to be... Okay. So, yeah. So this is why I thought this game would be interesting for us, because the dash attack.
Okay, yeah. So it's not just, you don't have to, do you have to press attack as well as dash, or is it just one?
No, just one. So I'm just pushing right bumper to attack. Caution, you can be harmed during dash attacks. Interesting. Long reach required to exit suggests combining double jump with a dash attack. Okay, so if I go hold, dash. Heavy smash attack will be very effective if timed properly, so that's a Y. Okay.
So someone in chat suggested a bit of a Sonic vibe.
Yeah.
In some places, though, like I guess probably a lot more free movement of a rogue-lite than Sonic necessarily felt like at times.
So I guess this kind of Y attack is stunning.
Oh, okay. Is that what that's what the exclamation mark is? Yeah. Yeah. So people are already talking about the music, but I don't get to hear that. So could you paint a picture with words for the music for me, Sean?
It's changed. Well, I can't do that. I'm not very good with the whole music, like describing music.
You're right. That is a weakness.
I don't. So I will let people in chat describe it, but it changes with the action, I would say, which is quite nice. Like now, it's quite chilled.
Okay.
But I quite like it. How are people describing it? Are anyone describing it?
Nacho says you should hum it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't think any of us want that to happen. But yeah, it's more chilled out apparently than Sonic.
Yes,
which is fair. Which is fair. I mean, nothing is more hectic than the Sonic soundtrack.
So interesting thing here. So I have a gun, and it's saying here that using close combat force refills my unit for the blaster. So this is kind of reminding me of the new Doom game. Okay. Well, Doom 2016, which the idea is, in the way that Doom has this concept of push forward combat, where like doing stuff like melee kills refills stuff, and it's all that resource management and doing different types of kills. So it's always about kind of like encouraging you to go forward, use your melee to get more ammo, to then use other things, which I think we'll be definitely taking a look at Doom at some point when that comes out.
Sure.
But yeah,
it's a kind of selective, like not just choosing the best weapon because it's like the best stats or whatever. It's choosing it for the particular scenario and circumstances.
Yeah,
it's a bit more involved gameplay, isn't it?
And forcing you to move out of your comfort zone. Who should go through the ordeal shall be gifted by the blood and bear its mark. Blood is power, thou shalt seek its power.
Like that, I shalt. Thank you.
Sorry. So I got a thing there. A number went up in the bottom right corner, which you can't see.
Sweet.
Yeah, shall I move my head to the top?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like seeing this, the beta version, we might be able to... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So is that kind of a bit Dark Souls? Not Dark Souls.
Dead Cells.
Bit Dead Cells-y. Are they going to be kind of stats to upgrade?
Shit, bed. Come on. Right.
Yeah. So you're getting health back from killing the enemies there, by the looks.
Was I?
Or what's the blood that's dripping
blood, I think
from
maybe
them
the blood drops could be.
Yeah.
Oh no, blood drops is like experience. If you look in the bottom right corner, I'm getting 22.
That's experience.
My health is in the top left.
Sure, sorry, yes,
Yeah.
I see.
So quantum distortion is detected, analysing. Identification of a porthole to an unknown place, possible exit, enabling mapping sensors. So now if you look, I've got a map now where my head is. Damn it. Let's go down here. Let's make me
People like big heads, Sean, don't forget that.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry, yeah. Let's get there. We need to optimize our twitching. Right. Okay, alright, so I'm jumping in a portal.
Seamless.
So thoughts on onboarding so far?
It's nice in the sense that you got a new screen for every time you had to do something new. Okay, I think that's an easy thing to forget. And it was done in a way that fits the art style, which is nice as well, and considerate. I mean, I guess there's not. Is there a huge amount to go through yet? Maybe not. Maybe it's going to get more complicated later. So it's just in that sense, it's the controls.
That's what I've learned is the controls really,
and it walks you through that one move at a time, one screen at a time. So I don't know. Like our analogy is a bit difficult. It's a bit different to do that because we don't have these kind of nice, easy, sectionable parts of the game that are quite so quick.
Yes, I think
like our legs of making it home are quite long compared to a single screen, and like I wouldn't want to make really short legs to do that. Well, I mean, maybe we end up doing that. I don't know.
Oh no, I don't think we're going to be able to just do what this does.
No.
Here comes a new fated on the brink of madness. Welcome to your last resting place. What am I doing here? Same thing as you. Lost soul looking for answers, though I believe there are none. Let's say I wander these shifting walls for my own project. I can be of your assistant if you feel like it. He. I'm a wandering merchant. I hope you like my voice acting here. I'm a wandering merchant, to put it simply. You will most likely need goods to repel those ordeals, won't you? Let me show my wares, and oh, I won't take money. I want those shiny droplets of yours. They have their use around here. Interesting.
Okay.
Not that I know what those droplets are for yet.
Yeah.
The droplets,
well,
this
they're
is the
for
first
buying
time.
stuff.
Well, is that all they're for? Maybe that
know.
is all they're for. I don't know. Okay, so name's Greed, but his name's Greed. Yeah. Please drop by with droplets. So I can buy something. What's this? Cucumber. Doesn't tell me what it does. It just says disgusting. Please make it disappear. Do I spend my? I only have 43. Let's come on. We have to experiment. What's this?
Well, you can't. Yeah, you're a long way from getting any of the others.
Okay, nothing. I didn't get anything for that.
Nice.
Okay,
I'm sure that choice will come back to either haunt you or you will be rewarded.
I would hope so. I think I'm starting to get the controls now. It takes a while to get in. So let's talk. Do you want to talk about the controls?
Well, if you want to, you're the one with them.
So something I found interesting is the dash attack.
Mm-hmm.
So because the dash attack, I'm using for movement as well.
Yeah.
It's very deliberately for. It's not just for attacking. It's also for movement.
No. Yeah, it looks super sweet for that.
It has a cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't just keep dashing, even though it's a very short cooldown. But if I tap, I'm tapping now, and there is a cooldown.
Okay.
Whereas, like, my main attack, which is with the is the sword, I can just there's no cooldown, and it slows my fall.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
So and I have got a shoot, but I always forget about that.
You've got like our game, you've got full aerial control.
Yes.
Like when attacking. Just not dashing.
We don't. There's not air. No, there isn't full air control.
In this.
There's even like the only thing is I can pick what direction to dash in, but there's air control is quite limited actually.
In the dash, but everything else.
No. Like if I jump up here, right, I'm pushing full right. I'm not moving as fast as when I run.
Oh, I see.
Okay, that's my run speed, but if I'm in the air, it's like barely, and it feels like I'm in treacle. It doesn't. But if I keep my horizontal speed, so if I launch while I'm going, I can make that jump. Look at that. That's level design, nice folks. Look, it's perfect, right? Look at that. It's every time I make that jump, it's the perfect. This is like people. That isn't an accident. Like that's very carefully designed. And I can go from the double jump without jumping. So like I've got an air jump, not really a double jump. So
yes.
So I can jump from there. And also I'm going to see, is there coyote time? Yes. So coyote time is, there's a few frames that if I leave this ledge, I've got a few frames to hit jump. If you notice, I can walk almost a whole character.
Oh yes, yeah, I saw it then.
Yeah.
That's a very easy one to see it then. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks nice, like when you're bouncing around. The character design I think helps with that, but also. Oh, do you want to talk through?
I mean, I've got an Ultra of Blood, so now I get to pick one blessing. So, Keen Eye reveals Greed position on the map throughout every realm, so I find the shopkeeper. Lucky Charm, more likely to drop any kind of items when finishing a room. And Fusion Core, reloading, recharges automatically when there's enemies around. But I'm not really using my gun, so I'm going to go with the Lucky Charm. Because I feel like I'm going to want to explore everywhere anyway.
Get the item that gives you more items. Classic.
Yeah, because I need some help, man.
You do. So yeah, and it looks great when the main characters jumping around on walls and.
I'm dead. Yes, it does. Yes. Okay, so I'm in. Right. So I died. So now what happens when I die?
Happens when you die.
I should probably talk to this guy first.
Probably. He's got a great beard.
Yeah. Is it Santa Claus? Are you a new fated? That's grand. I've been waiting an eternity by the tree for a new expedition. Who am I? So, interesting thing for us, the pacing of this text, right? I've actually done quite a lot of reading and hitting X.
Yeah. Yes. But there's no dialogue. There's no you don't get to, your side of the conversation is assumed by lines like "Who am I?"
Yeah.
You know, that suggests you've asked a question.
Yes, I wouldn't have noticed that. And another one. What about this place? The great chiming tree. It's the reason you arrived here. The reason you're still alive. So I'm not dead. I can't remember why I'm here. I must help. Blood is power. I need to think. Okay, so didn't really answer anything there. Okay, here we go. So this looks like the skill tree.
It is a literal tree.
It's literally a tree. So this is I unlock this. Oak skin gives one more permanent max health. I've got one of those things down the bottom right that I can't remember how I got one of those.
Okay.
So I'm obviously
What's the one on the right?
Oh shit! I didn't even see that. Allows to fast travel to any visitor's room from the map.
Okay. Well, oak skin sounds good too.
Yeah, that's what I always go for that. And a ground pound, so I can see what I'm going to get next. So then I guess I jump back in. So I failed, right? So I'm restarting.
So yes, roguelike and all that.
Yeah.
Rogue-lite and all that. So the map in the top right then is suggesting there's. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that because that depends if that frame shifts at all. At the moment, it kind of suggests you're working on a 5x5 grid.
Oh my god!
I'll just keep talking while you stop.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's necessarily that seems to be the scope of a kind of level, maybe. But it might not be. It might be more. That might shift. There's got arrows on every side, so that suggests maybe that will move as well. So you go into a different 5x5 grid.
Possibly.
So yeah.
I'm not used to the idea of holding to for like the bigger jump.
Yeah.
Look at all this blood I need. Like, I can't afford that at all.
I'm assuming it doesn't, or maybe it does. No, it doesn't stick between runs like if you die. No, wow, that's a lot of blood. Yeah. Seeing as you're getting between 4 or 5 a kill.
Yeah.
You got 7 there, but to get up to 350, you're gonna have to kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people. So he's represented by a little blood drop, which makes sense. Are there sound effects, Sean?
Yeah.
How are they? Are they good?
They're good. Yeah.
That's not a good sound effect.
No. Oh, what do I get? Increases damage on stunned enemies. I don't know where I see those.
Is your inventory no.
Well, there's not really an inventory as far as I can see.
I wondered what was on the left of the screen.
On the left of the screen, yeah. I don't think it's an inventory.
That's where the gun is, but
yeah.
It looks like there might be slots there, but I don't think there are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That map shows it as much bigger than 5x5.
Yeah, so that's the map. That's the full map. So I can't get through this one, so I guess that's the boss. Okay, so I think this is where I get. Oh no, this isn't right. So this is just the altar, which I get a blood blessing. So I guess which is a power up that doesn't go between runs. 5% more damage.
That'd be good right now.
What? Oh, 5% more damage
per missing HP.
Oh, that's really interesting. I didn't even read that properly. So that's appearing in the top left now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That pixel art's lovely.
Yeah.
It's really nice. small animated like things about like the foliage and the,
what the heck's this big thing?
Like the environment pixel art is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And the enemy, and the enemy stuff as well.
Yeah. So I've kind of died again.
You kind of have, yes.
So quite short, like. So I'm learning. I'm hopefully getting better at actually playing. It's like a skill, you know. Mm-hmm. I got that first unlock kind of for free, so I know the loop. Even though I'm not entirely sure how I got that thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really know. I'm not really sure what I had to do.
The main version, it's I mean, you got there. Like, you need to give the player that early incentive, don't you, really? And feeling of progression. Yeah.
I need to not lose so much health, like, every time I enter combat.
Do you think it's this, like, must melee approach that's perhaps causing the problem?
Maybe. I need to maybe just chill out of it. But, like, I love just... Like, why wouldn't I be pushing the dash button?
Because you can get hit when you're dashing, like...
Oh, yes! Yes! They said that, didn't they?
They did definitely say that.
Okay, so does that mean I'm not vulnerable when I'm slashing?
Don't know.
Okay, enemies are stunned for more than 50% time and take 10% damage. Reloading energy recharges automatically. Floor is lava. For each enemy killed while not touching the ground, I get 10% sword damage. I'm going to go with that one because I've been killing people in the air.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
You just can't sit still.
I can't. Yeah, I need to, like... I guess I could sit still, right? I don't have to be running around all the time, but it just feels like...
That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
We can't fight the warrior inside ourselves.
Oh my god! The hell is this thing? Oh, I can run up walls. I need to remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, running up walls is an extreme design choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it basically says that when you design a room in this game, womp womp, you have to have like ledges all the time, otherwise everyone's just gonna run up your walls and not even jump. Except when you forget that you can do it. It's such an odd thing that we don't let players do that. Just like,
I just realised, are those floors spiking?
Yeah, but I don't think you lost any HP. Either you by sheer luck missed it. But I don't think you lost any HP. There's no shield mechanic yet either, is there?
No, doesn't seem to be.
I guess in this instance you should use the terrain when that guy's going nuts.
Yeah.
It has kind of a... like... Oh, did you just block that with an
attack? No.
Yeah, so Frozen suggested they took the phrase "hell in a cell" and made a good-looking game out of it.
Yeah. Should I pause for a second? Can we have a chat about this? Because I feel like when I get into it, I can't really talk.
You can't. You've gone quite quiet.
Yeah. Okay.
Go on, talk.
I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think what we can. So we talked about the jumping and the dash. So let's talk about the dash.
Okay.
So because we've talked a lot about dashes in our game, right? The key attack is a dash for us, and we invest a lot with the speed.
It is the attack. It's the only attack.
Yeah. So what's interesting about this dash is that like you can dash. Oh, I can go. Like I can dash down. I can dash any direction, right?
It's a 360 dash.
Yeah. Can I dash any direction? No, it's not any direction. It's it's like compass. It's like it's either north, south. Oh no. Can I
You
go
seem
analog?
to be
I think I
doing
can.
diagonal. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I think, can I go in between the diagonals?
I think so.
I think I can. Like, as in, it's not just north northeast. It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
We could use maths if you want to use numbers. You know, I can kind of handle like it.
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking like that. So
Yeah. Can you dash at 20 degrees?
yeah, I was thinking. Yeah.
66 degrees.
I guess so. But in terms of like getting started, there wasn't much, was there?
In terms of what?
There's not much to this game, right? Oh no, those spikes do hurt me.
Okay.
I'm kind of in it now, right?
Yeah. Right. So, yeah, the tutorializing wasn't that wasn't that involved. Like say, the main learning you're going to be doing now is items that change the game and enemies that make like enemy behavior.
Yeah.
Right. Like once you've understood that you can run up walls, you can dash, attack. The jump system, like that's it. All you need.
Yeah.
So I'm just pointing out. Someone's pointed out that it's quite chaotic. Oh, it's Moggy. Hi, Moggy. That looks chaotic, like Smash TV, but not top down. And has the same kind of pixely vibe. I pointed out that Sean, I have like you weren't even this quiet during Dead Cells. Now I know you played Dead Cells quite a lot before.
Yeah, it is.
So
yeah,
talk and play a bit more. But
well, yeah, I guess that's going to be part of it, right? I need to use my gun more.
I think we were aware of that, but you know, you can't fight yourself as well as the monsters, Sean. If you want to get stuck in.
Cool.
But
yeah, go on.
So, do you think? How much do you think of this game is available now in early access?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's hard. Go on.
It's hard. It's hard to tell because you keep dying.
Yeah. Well, so okay, let's talk about that then.
Yeah.
That feeling of restarting and how that works. And do you want to? I will leave you. Like, okay, here it is, Dave. Like we you know, like restarting games in roguelikes can be frustrating. Discuss.
Okay. In my argument, I will be discussing how frustrating or it is to restart in roguelike games. The definition of roguelike is a game where you have to restart quite a lot, but every time you do, because of the light version, you get improvements each time.
Okay.
Right, so you've got your bark skin, you've got, well, mainly your bark skin, like you haven't added anything else yet, have you?
No, that's the only thing.
Your skill tree. Okay, but with the idea that eventually these will make the restarts easier.
I got through a room without losing health.
See, you are getting better. You also used the gun a bit as
well.
Right?
Yes, I've realised that's something I need to do. Go on, keep going.
So yeah, so it's frustrating. Why is it frustrating? Because it's an interesting take on the sense of progression. And it's actually, I think, quite psychologically interesting that games have gone this direction, or certain types of games have gone this direction. Because it kind of, from a design perspective, seems like the anti of what you want the player to be doing, going right back to the start, you know, having lost their progression for a rogue-like and having retained a bit of their progression, or maybe a significant bit of their progression for a rogue-lite, is like largely what most other kind of games are trying not to do. So it is interesting. The obvious reason this is doable, to state the obvious, is the speed at which it happens.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you're in it and you die within, you probably last 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Then that's like an acceptable contract that the player has like entered into with the game, and I think that makes a massive difference. Again, it is stating the obvious, but it does. I think it's kind of interesting from a gaming psychology point of view.
Yeah.
It's a bit like if you set up a board game and it took you an hour to set up and 2 minutes to play.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what on earth is this? Or if it said every time you have to play the game, it's going to take you another hour to set up, but it's 2 minutes to play. Whereas those short, fun party games, you're like, this is going to take 2 minutes to play, it's 2 minutes to explain. There are 4 different components that I have to put on the table, and away we go.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping for a seller there. I feel like I'm, but yeah. Okay, so I feel like I'm getting better. Right.
Sure. You died with 110 drops there, which is getting close to the amount you need to buy some of those more exciting items.
Yeah. But I still don't know how I get that permanent progression. Like, I haven't unlocked any permanent progression yet, and how far, like, on quite a few runs.
Yeah. Yes, we haven't seen any more of what are they eyeballs or suns? What would you say those other things are in the bottom right? When you get them
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like the Dark Souls, like, or like Dead Cells, like, man, no way, not 2 of these.
Also, Enter the Gungeon kind of has this kind of feel to it at those points, doesn't it?
So because Enter the Gungeon like has a lot less going on in terms of unlocking permanent things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no skill tree, I don't think, in Gungeon.
Keep forgetting I can run up walls.
It's because it's so unintuitive. We don't let gamers run up walls very often. Like, some games do it with like a power bar, like you can do it so much, or only certain types of wall surfaces.
Yeah.
I wonder if this game will introduce walls you can't run up.
Yeah.
Some nice use of the terrain.
Because I don't have that thing anymore that increases the chance of getting drops in rooms, because that was like last time. I'm definitely seeing some repeats of the room layouts.
Sure. But does it feel repetitive? I mean, other than the environment is. So this is an interesting question, because like something we've come across in our games, way more with Cycle 28 than this, and way more with Cycle 28 than even Making It Home. But Making It Home does have an element of it, which is when you're gifting a game like this for your marketing, like team, right? Having such like similar backgrounds each time felt for us like
every gift looked the same, right?
Yeah, basically. I mean, they've got some great, whoever's doing the pixel art's fantastic, and they're doing some fantastic stills, and the animation helps and all this kind of stuff. So I imagine they weren't short on things to gift, but if they were trying to just like gift a lot of the gameplay, it would look quite similar, right? Like
yeah.
And this is like the gift culture, obviously, is that you are looking at something in a very short space of time.
Is it worth, like, some people like if you don't have a game studio might not know what goes into marketing a game, like for someone like people like us, like what do we do, like
what
but in terms of gifts, like
sorry, just laughing at something in chat.
Okay, what? People are not happy with the way I'm playing?
No, it's nothing. It's nothing to do with you, Sean. It's not all to do with you.
I was joking. I know that people like the way I play.
Yeah, it was a typo that was kind of funny. So yeah, like, okay, fair enough. Why would you need to know about marketing for games? Except for the fact that you're probably someone who buys games, and whether or not consciously or not, you are probably influenced by game marketing, because it's impossible not to be influenced by marketing in this day and age.
I got health! Oh no, I just got max health. I didn't get actual health.
Well, yeah, that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
So, yes, as someone points out, Sean, you get pretty much a free pass because of the amount of trucks I tipped over, which people don't seem to be able to move on from. A big part of marketing is obviously social media. A big part of engagement on social media is gifts and screenshots, but mostly gifts. And this guy's owning you. It's so a game being able to GIF well is like a big deal in indie game marketing. It looks great on things like Reddit posts. Imgur obviously posts are basically stitched together GIFs. So I mean, we spend like 90% of our marketing time. I'm not even going to say budget because there is no budget. Although that's not strictly...
No, yeah, we do spend like £1 a day on ads.
Yeah, there we go.
Like,
£1 a day on ads.
Mainly to get data, really, like not actually to do the ad thing.
As Frozen points out, GIFs are essentially a language now, and people do just talk in GIFs. So, you know, if people are doing that, you can see why. And they also work perfectly for the medium. Like, I mean, people are doing this, don't get me wrong, but, you know, it's not the medium necessarily to promote music or promote or promote movies even, right?
Yeah. No, you wouldn't, would you, I suppose?
No, but you do see those, like, you know, those 5-second trailers for a trailer.
Yeah, that's started. That's really weird, isn't it? The 5. Has anyone seen those? Like the 5-second just before.
It's like a trailer for the trailer. I mean, it's absolutely mad. Like, it gives you like 5 seconds of what you might be watching in the 30-second trailer. And that's kind of all just trying to figure out, well, what is the GIFs for movies and stories and books? There are book trailers which are kind of like GIFs but just slower.
Book trailers.
Like, book trailers, yeah.
What do you do? Like,
you just I've got a book trailer.
You've got a book trailer.
Yeah, it's just a GIF. It's like a GIF.
But what is the GIF of?
the book.
Just the book, like as in. I could do a GIF trailer of one of your books right now.
Let me show you on Twitter.
Is this how a trailer works for a book? You just hold the book.
It's not far off.
Yes.
Thanks for the shout out.
That's okay. Yeah.
But let me find it. I'll find a link for you, everyone.
I need to see if my head is still in there.
But book trailers are a thing. Like,
that's brilliant. I didn't know that was a thing.
Here we go. There's our book trailer. And it's a book GIF. It's just a book GIF. So the point is, like, everyone's doing it. It's because when you're scrolling through endless amounts of visual content on Twitter, a 2 or 3 second exciting visual is the thing that people spot. My cat's just decided to flop down. So yeah, we spent a lot gifting.
Yes.
GIF.
And then a trailer is like a collection of GIFs.
Yeah.
But kind of. Like, I suppose that's like a reductive, right? But
well, we talked about trailers and we've watched a bunch of things and suggestions about trailers, and we're still learning about it. And there are professional people who pretty much their job is to do game trailers, because it is an art. It's a skill.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference to the viability of a game. People really care about trailers. So it's something to worth iterate. Like we've got one at the moment, but it's not what we're particularly happy with. We're happy with it at the time, but we know
there's always like you can always make a better trailer, particularly when we get the music.
Yes.
I think I'm starting to feel it a bit more now.
I mean, there was a point then where you were just like constantly in the air, just flying around killing things. I'm guessing that.
Yeah.
Like that's an improvement.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad. It's exhausting.
It looks pretty full on just watching it, to be honest.
But it kind of. I'm starting. So it's interesting because now I'm starting to feel like I'm in control. But it looks really chaotic. But I feel like I'm starting to control it. But the progression here is entirely just skill based. Like I'm just getting better at playing the game. I think. He says as he gets hit twice.
Yeah, people have Frozen's pointed out that it's basically you're getting your like gaming dopamine here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Moving. But it's always nice to see Sean smile. So.
Oh no, not this guy! But I bet if I beat this guy, I get one of those dots. Yeah. How do I beat him though? Like.
You learn his behaviour, Sean. That's the key.
Yeah. Right. So what do I need to do? Just die already. I've got 1 health. And those spiking. So the floors are spiky.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about spiky floors? Do they seem a bit like unfair? Like considering how much else is going on.
No, they're not because they only spike up when you've stood on them. So they're just stopping you from staying still. In a way, they're teaching you to keep moving.
Nice.
Right? That's the idea, is that... So let's have a think game design. Like, what can we learn from this? What's going on here? So that's one thing, right? Is that kind of like seems to encourage you to keep moving?
Yeah. I've learned that even if you can walk up a wall, that most players won't because they can't remember that you can do that.
Yeah. So I did. So I feel like I understand why I do well in some rooms and not others.
Okay, and what's that?
Well, what I mean is I understand why I did well in this room. Like I could tell what was happening. Like, I could tell that I used this more, right? So when I had a group of enemies together, I could just do this, and it would I could kill them all at the same time.
Okay.
I'm kind of like learning the language of the game, I guess. I'm starting to get that feel, the feel of like the jump being like the more I hold it, the higher I get.
Sure.
But it's really hard to kind of like explain that kind of subconscious feeling of feeling that working.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're starting to understand enemy behavior as well?
No, so I don't think so. No, like that's the thing I'm really struggling with.
You just see a group of pixels and you need to hit it.
Yeah. Like yeah. So that was interesting use of those spikes up there. So these bats don't seem to do much. These guys shoot something at me like a bullet hell kind of. God, like there's bullet hell in here as well, isn't there? I think everything's telegraphed, really. Like
yes.
So that's the thing. It's like everything is telegraphed. So it's my fault if I get hit.
Yep. Yeah, wasn't going to blame anyone else.
Yeah. So yeah. So what do you think then? Like,
I think you've hit a bit of a ceiling. Like you haven't done any like meaningful progress.
Yes, you're probably right. Yeah. Yeah. Like that is.
The last like how many runs? I mean, you've got better, which is important, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, like in terms of drip-fed progression. I don't know if you just got unlucky, but you're struggling to make that next XP drop.
Yeah, I think I've got to beat that boss, right?
That boss, yeah. So he's procedurally generated in terms of where he in a given map. So you don't know where to head to. You're just like
no. I'm just like
going from room to room.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I can't just go and attack him.
No. And the room layout is different every time.
It's just my gun more. Apparently not. So one thing that is quite important here is like to restart. I just do this. I just jump. So like that's really, because if you give someone an opportunity to not just jump back in, they probably won't, right?
That was something that we wanted to do on Cycle 28, was to minimize that chance that people might just go and do something else.
Yeah, which sounds really nefarious. Oh man,
it does sound nefarious.
No. Okay, one thing I would say that this has is that I think I've screwed this first room up. Like I know that's going to affect me, right?
Sure.
So what can I do with this run now? I know it's like a failed run. Like,
well, you only lost 2 HP.
I feel like that was quite a lot for the first room.
I mean, the first room, yes, the first room did have quite a lot in it, but you're right. Like, that's like how long do you have to play a level to be fully invested in it before you want to just restart it? I think it's an interesting conundrum with roguelites.
Yeah, it's gone badly. I just started mashing, and that's.
But then you die so quickly. Does it really matter? Like. A good run for you so far hasn't been like a long time.
And I guess as well, with a game like this, I'm always feel like I'm learning, even, you know.
Yeah. So therefore there can't be anything such as a wasted run.
Mm-hmm.
You are
what I'm noticing as well is that like. I can attack from a lot further away than I expect. Oh, I went to the boss room. I didn't mean to do this. I didn't know that symbol was boss.
So you found him.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of knew my mind would be so in this game. I can't really think about like all the stuff that we can learn from this. But can you think of stuff by
Well, you said you watched a Giant Bomb something on this. How did they handle that? Like as pros that they are.
So
was it pre-recorded or?
It was a recorded one. Yeah. Oh shit! I can go into the water.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. It loops around.
That's nice animation.
Yeah. I'm just gonna see if like I can talk to this guy if he says something different. He does say something different. Well, he just was asleep. He's asleep.
Okay, fair.
Like he did once, like say something different when I got back. They had 2 people, and like I think like the person who was playing would kind of almost stop talking, play, and then kind of what we're doing.
So that raises an interesting question for games that live and die on people streaming them.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Because that's something that like we found a little bit with people who were very kindly streaming Cycle 28. Shout out to those streamers. That they found it quite difficult to stream and talk to and engage with their audience, which is of course what streaming kind of is, right? Like it's playing a game, but it's also talking to the people who have decided to spend time watching you play this game. So if it's so involved, like it doesn't stream well. Like I guess the rogue-lite caveat to that is you can be in it and silent for like the 30 seconds, 45 seconds, minute, whatever it takes for you to clear a room. Like now you could pause and talk to me, right? Like and the game says it doesn't really matter. There's no like timer, it seems to be.
No, it doesn't. So some roguelites do have that. So like Splunky does, doesn't
Splunky
it?
does,
eventually that ghost comes along.
Which I think would be quite a bold design choice now, given this factor of streaming. Like I wouldn't do that. Because of that. But we certainly were aware of like, that decision when thinking about what the next game is going to be like. And like making it home has got some pretty full-on moments.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's it's not like this.
It's definitely like we've streamed it okay, and like whereas Cycle 28 we definitely struggled. Like it was a similar thing to this where we'd say, okay, you get a serious run now. I'll talk.
yeah. Well, with Cycle 28 being so punishing and losing your for getting hit, you're like talking was a real punishing.
Oh no! What hit me there? Was it the spike? I think I felt. So one thing I'm learning now, right, is that I learned that big kind of thing that was walking around here can be killed pretty easy with bullets.
Yeah.
So the game kind of gave me enemies that I could kill with melee quite easily, and then I got an enemy that I could kill with bullets. So like that's part of that strategy.
Yeah. Of like evolving your weapons. So like I think that's interesting to see whether like games like this that are popular, like how many people stream them and how like mainstream streamers respond to them. Yeah,
so like I guess that maybe that's another thing is like thinking, why is this game? I mean, it's great. I'm enjoying it. Like so, the reason is it's good. Like that. Right, so I can get. Sorry, I can go to the boss room to my left now, but I've got 2 health. I know I'm probably going to lose. So do I go and see if I can find some health in another room first?
Well,
that's an interesting one, right? Like I think that's quite a nice. That's like part of the joy of roguelikes, I think.
Possibly.
Or at least those decisions, those resource management. So
I think you greatly overestimate your ability to gain health as opposed to lose health.
Yeah, it seems to be really like I've not been gaining health at all.
No, I think you're more likely to lose more health than you are gain when you add wounds to your brain. Maybe that's a lack of faith in you, which is fair, I think. And I've just been proved right. So.
But look, I found this thing. It does. So I would say actually, like maybe I am feeling like I want some kind of progression at this point. Like I'm enjoying it. It feels good. Increasing the invulnerability time between 2 hits. So, so you get invulnerability between a hit, but like I've only got 1 health, so like I'm not going to get 2 hits.
I think that bear spirit's calling you again.
So maybe I should go like with my 1 health, but super high. Oh man, I'm just going to try and not get hit.
Oh, so is that not what you've been doing so far?
I mean, with this boss, I'm not going to try attacking it. I'm just going to see, like, try and learn how to avoid getting.
Okay. What did we learn?
We learned that I got hit, and the books have trailers. So
well, that's good. That's a good evening's learning.
Yeah. Right, let's take a step back for a second.
Whew, okay.
Right. Whew. Let's breathe. Early access.
Yes.
How does this feel? Do you like? This feels pretty polished to me. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. Do you think it's a matter of it will just be content added?
So I think they're quite open about wanting to get feedback. So quite often with these kind of roguelike games, there might only be a couple of levels or worlds. Like I haven't got to the second world in an hour. So maybe that's another thing to think about. Is like I haven't really been playing an hour. I don't really feel like I've progressed other than getting better at the game.
Yeah.
And I do like that, and I feel good about that.
It's important to get better at the game.
Yeah, but that's an interesting thing, right? Is that actually like the idea of getting better because we're giving you better stuff versus getting better because you're getting better.
Yes.
You know, like it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think. it's whether or not players really appreciate that these days. Like, I think that's quite a mature approach to gaming. Is like, I've just sunk an hour into this game. I've enjoyed it, but I've got nothing to show for it other than the fact I'm just a bit better at it than I was, and not like it's how you demonstrate. How you demonstrate to a player that they have got better. Players do like that kind of feedback quite regularly. So I think that's interesting.
Right, okay. This cannot be a coincidence. Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Why do you think not?
I think the game knows. As in, it's tracking how many times I've failed. Okay.
That does seem like you haven't seen any HPs in a long time, and you've just got
and now I've got 2. Like, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, you hadn't even lost any in that room. Well, I mean, it could be just RNG, but that does seem a bit suspect.
How does that feel then?
You're being rubber banded. How does it feel?
I'm okay with it. I'm like, God, yes.
The question is,
if that's what's happening, and we don't know that. Like, let's be.
Yeah, we don't know.
If there's health in this one, okay, there wasn't health in this one, but I can go back and get this health.
You wonder, like, we're alive to that far more than most players would be.
Maybe.
But
what's the consensus in chat? Do people think that was a random luck?
Excuse me. Yeah, Moggy says it's like a lovely blue shell.
Yeah. No health there. Okay.
Maybe it was just coincidence. But even 2 in a run is a lot for compared to what you've been having recently.
This thing. Right, okay, so I was thinking there. I killed those things at the top.
Ooh, yeah.
And
tactics.
I didn't mean to fall! Tactics, bloody tactics. Okay, so early access. So where were we going with that? So, well, we're thinking about, obviously, like, we're thinking about our game, right?
Yep.
So, like, what can we? Is it like let's start talking specifically about our game and what we could take from this.
So what we, I suppose, want really is a play experience that lasts between, on average, an hour and like 3 hours.
Are you talking total or what? What are you talking about there? What?
Just amazed by the blood item.
Yeah, but like,
you haven't found him yet, have you?
No, I haven't found him. But that he usually has good stuff. Does he have good stuff?
I don't know. He's always got stuff you can't afford.
Maybe I'll get the. Okay, I'm going to get the gun thing, so I can always use my gun on the boss.
Fair enough. So basically, because you've just been playing this for an hour, like I think I don't know what the minimum amount of time people want to feel like they've invested into a game that's in early access before, like they feel they've got value.
Right. Okay, you're talking about early access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a game experience that's like between 1 and 3 hours with the. I mean, you could sink days into this game so far because you can't progress that far.
I suck. Is that what you're saying, Dave?
Well,
just say it. Just say it.
You could if you weren't that great.
Okay.
Like,
yeah. Thanks for that.
But that's not saying like the amount of content is like 3 days worth of content, is it? It's saying that like because the game is like involves repetitive loops, it perhaps feels like there's more content here than there really is, etc., etc. But like you said, the developers want feedback. They want to know what's working, what's not working. You know, what areas they need to focus on before full release. So there's a lot to be said for early access, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go try this boss while you.
Well, yeah, but go away. So we've got some plans to put making it home into early access once we've had a bit of beta testing. Just because of the structure of the game, I think we talked about this last time we played making it home, but also because there's a lot of things to balance and a lot of like things to balance, a lot of things to check out.
That was close though. I think I got it to like the second phase.
The second.
I think like I got into like half health then. Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. I guess you want to get. The problem is you've got to have a game people are going to keep playing, because if you don't, like, that kills it. I think.
Yes.
Restart.
Yeah.
And when I say keep playing, I mean, and this is where, like, I think for us the weekly challenges are really cool, and that's maybe how roguelites do it. It's that kind of stuff.
We also have that benefit of the kind of, you're designing your vehicle, so you want to go back and try different designs each time. You get to decide where the parts of your vehicle are placed. So there's that kind of building variety as well as the kind of combat variety.
Yeah.
That we're hoping will keep players in early access particularly interested in trying different things and trying out the variety. So yeah, I mean, I think roguelikes probably and rogue-lite are like ideal for early access for that reason. Whether or not then, you know, how much here really needs balancing?
Well, it's difficulty, I would say, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something we need to think about.
I mean, we've been laughing at it for an hour, but do you think it's too difficult?
Do I think it's too difficult? I don't know. Like, I'm kind of well. I'm trying to think. Dead Cells took me a long time to beat that first boss.
Yeah,
I think that's something I think I always come back to, because we kind of have a boss fight, right? The rabbit, right? Yes. The rabbit, beating the rabbit. If you're not sure, like, we did a stream last week, and Dave did not beat the rabbit.
Nope.
And we talked about, like, do we want it so that it's mathematically possible to beat that rabbit in your first run? I guess the answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But then so the idea of you having to learn how to make your vehicle better to do that. Yes. But do we really want someone to be able to luck it?
Well, the problem is we can't track the difference between someone who has quote unquote lucked it and someone who has, on their first run, just been very good at the game. Like, there's no way to track that, is there, from our
no, we'd have to watch people play, right?
Yeah, so that's not something we can do. I mean,
well, we can watch some people play. We'll have to.
Yes. Yeah, but I think it's very unlikely to want to luck their way through that encounter or that game.
Oh yeah, I'm saying, like, not even take aside the fact whether or not it's possible. Like, the question is, do we want that to happen? Like, and I think the answer, like, we don't. Otherwise, what's the point, in a way?
We don't want them to be able to luck it, but we do want players to be able to defeat the boss the first time they encounter it, if they just happen to be very good. Yeah. Like, there's nothing stopping having, like, game-wise, there's nothing to say you couldn't have beaten that boss the first time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, I can't afford anything. Right. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Exactly,
and that's
right.
that's what we have to make sure is the case.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things that we're thinking about in terms of like early access and what it can maybe help us do and figure out in terms of what people do and don't like, not just in the like in-leg bit when you're building the vehicle, but also with the dialogue system and the story bits, and so on and so forth. And it's kind of, the game at the moment naturally lends itself to content being added periodically with different panels and rooms, and also the panels that you add to your vehicle, but also there's kind of a 3-act structure, so we'll probably release 1 act at a time, or like maybe the 2nd act and then the 3rd act will be available on release. So it kind of makes sense to kind of test those.
Like, I'm quite excited about, like, I like the idea of live development.
Yes.
Oh man, that wasn't nice and fair. Like, I jumped into that. That felt a bit
cheesy.
Yeah. Oh, those spikes are good. Like, as in they're interesting because they make me move. Like, I can't just. Oh, have I got no? I'm not using the dash as much as, maybe because I'm using the dash less, I'm doing better.
Well, you're using the gun more, right? And as Moggy's pointing out, we're clearly wrong about the rubber banding.
Yes.
We haven't seen any in ages.
No.
So that was just coincidence.
Just like luck. But I kind of almost think it should be rubber banded. Like, what do you think? Is it like, what do people think? Is rubber band like? Because I'm not. I would say I'm enjoying it, I guess.
I don't think these kind of games are the kind, because like the people who like these games are pretty hardcore about liking them.
Yeah.
And they will probably crucify you for rubber banding.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're making a nice story game about a ladybird jumping around a bit, like it's a different kettle of ladybirds.
Yes. Yeah.
This kind of drops about max HP. Like,
yeah.
They don't seem very good, do they? Like,
no.
I would want more health potions than I would want max HP.
What?
It's just your sigh of relief. It's almost as funny as that, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you want me to do another run, or should we have a debrief?
Do you want to do one for the road?
Let's do one for the
road. Knowing that it's your last one.
Well, let's do a debrief, so I can just, maybe I need to kind of get my headspace out of. Do you know what I mean? Like, I probably need to just kind of like. So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of like getting into it. I guess you have been talking about stuff, but I've been so focused on this.
You haven't had a word I've said. Good, I've been rambling away.
Yeah. So what were the 3 things I said at the start of the stream?
Controls, like jumping and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm going to go into here so we can do the jumping. So controls and jumping. Like, I think our dash attack, I'm wondering whether we need to make it... So there's something I want to talk about, actually. Like, when I initially made the dash, I made the dash kind of more like this dash, where it was really fast, right?
Yeah.
And then you pointed out correctly that meant you could... why would you ever run? You just dash everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and I'm still like, I think that's still a conversation to have of how we make that dash. Like, think about animation as well. So I thought, like so the way that these guys get around that problem is that there's a cooldown on the dash. So if I try to get from this side of the screen to the other side of the screen with just dashing, that's actually slower than me running, right? Isn't it? Count the frames. It is. I think. Is it about the same?
It does seem pretty quick because you can ignore the jump, basically.
Well, no, because there's a cooldown. This has been mashing.
It's not much of a cooldown, though, is it?
It's not much of a cooldown, but it's
kind
enough.
of like it's a beat or two after the animation's finished.
I think it's about the same. I think they made that. I could be wrong. I'd want to I'll watch the video later and work it out. But I think that they've probably done that, so it's about the same. That feels like it's about the same to me. So that's interesting. So the cooldown thing. One thing I would say, how do I know when the cooldown's up? I don't, right? I have to kind of get a sense of it. Now, Celeste. So Celeste is a game that has a dash. It's a platformer game. The main character's hair changes colour when your dash is unlocked.
Okay.
And that's a different thing again. So you have one dash until you touch the floor again, I think. Or there's some things in the air that recharge your dash. So it's a bit interesting. The platforming is more about puzzling, really. Okay. So what do you think? What do you think of that whole dash thing?
So my when we were talking about the dash in Making It Home, I felt that if we wanted it to be that quick, it had to be shorter in length.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't so that I didn't feel like I just wanted to dash my way through the whole vehicle. Because it's an attack and our game doesn't actually involve a huge amount of attacking compared to this. You started off this game and you changed a little bit by the end of it, but you started off this game always dashing, right? As soon as it was really off this cooldown, you were dashing. That I don't think is how we've envisaged people playing Making It Home, because there's not things to attack all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So I didn't want it to feel like, from an efficiency in terms of non-attacking, I'm gonna dash between two sails so that I can put them up quickly.
Yeah.
It's not just a dash; it's an attack for us. So to me, that didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So that was my objection to that initial build of the dash.
So
I don't think we got I still find myself running a lot. Because I think that because of what you've changed the dash to do.
Yeah, so I've been using the dash a lot for air movement.
Yes.
And for and I quite like that. So it's the way that I can change my mind. Interestingly, so I can't reverse my dash, right? So if I'm going in this direction, I can't. Oh no, I can. I have to turn first. Do you see?
Yeah, it's not. It's not. Ours is very.
I can just very quickly change. Yeah, with ours, I can see some. I can. It would probably feel. It's about making the game feel making that dash feel good. And I wonder if I think definitely the idea of having a different direction dash would actually help the combat quite a lot, rather than having to rely on just the horizontal dash.
It would be a big deal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's is it a hard thing to do on keyboard?
Okay, I'm doing keyboard control. I don't even know what the control. Oh, okay, shift. It just feels awful.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's some. Oh.
Is that mouse?
No, that's my
That's your dash target.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
Yes, no, it is. It's going. So.
Huh. Because you can't dash under there. Yeah,
Oh, that no. Oh, that feels horrible. To me.
But that's the kind of thing you have to do, right?
If
you're gonna give them a 360 dash, and then say try doing that on a keyboard. That's the way you handle that.
But also, I think it might be because. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah.
I don't. And you presumably you can't be screw you guys, get a controller.
Well.
On Steam, that seems like a bad idea.
So Super Meat Boy does that. That you can use the keyboard, but they have a thing at the front of the game that's you can use the keyboard, but you shouldn't. But no, I think it should. But then our game isn't. It's because we kind of like our game is almost like becoming a platformer, but we didn't initially design it to be one.
Yeah.
And maybe we should lean into that because it feels good. But that doesn't mean like we need to have a dash like this. But I don't know.
Well, it's just a different skill set. Like our dash is often about timing when you hit dash, because you know you're going to go at horizontal.
Yeah. So the thing about the dash that balances it is that you're committed to the movement.
Yes.
So like if I'm like, so for example, like if I jump over, like if I'm jumping here, I can kind of cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can cancel and go down there. I can like, an enemy's there, I'm going down. Right? Mm-hmm. But the dash, you're not invulnerable. I'm going. Like I can't, like I'm going that distance every time. Like I can't do anything about that. Whereas if I jump, and it seems to be roughly a jump, like I feel like it's around a jump distance.
The kind of distance, yeah.
So anyway, that's that really. Like I guess that's the movement. Is that?
Yeah, pretty
there's like
much.
A double jump maybe. I don't think we need a double jump with the dash. I think the dash kind of becomes the double jump in our game.
Well, we have wall jumps, and the reason we wanted wall jumps as opposed to a double jump is that like all the jumps are like carefully mathed out to do what you need to do, right? Like there is no need to double jump in our game, because you're the one deciding where all the platforms are.
Yeah.
Right, so you decide, like if you put something out of reach, that's your fault. Like, and there will be ways to build up to it once you've got a bit more money, maybe, or something.
Yeah.
Whereas this is obviously like the layout. Of the level dictates whether or not you need it. But we've got a wall jump to encourage people to build vertical platforms, like vertical walls in their vehicle, and also because it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we need a double jump.
No, probably not. I don't think. So movement was the one thing. What was the other stuff? Like early access was another one.
Early access we've chatted about.
Yeah. The other. Okay, so we don't need to talk about that again.
Not really, I don't think.
And then it was
anything.
No, just like for me, I think the thing that I'm really. Well, I guess this is very polished, right? It feels like a game. I don't feel like this is an early access game. I don't really understand how it's early access, but maybe that's because I'm not very good.
Well, I mean, you haven't beaten the boss yet, so maybe that's why it's early access.
Yeah, and that kind of leads on to the last thing, which was the idea of failing. Because, and we talked about that as well, is like the idea of kind of balancing your game so that you're likely going to fail against the boss. Because the whole point is progression, which sounds like such a bad, like engineering your game to make the player fail feels like a bad thing. But like we're doing it, we talked about this before, is the idea is that the thing that's fun is redesigning vehicles, so we want to force you to do that.
Well, force isn't the word I would use. Provide the opportunity, because if you're forcing people to have fun, then that doesn't sound very fun at all.
But that is what they do. That's what game designers are doing all the time. But I know what you mean. Like
providing
the word force.
People opportunities to have fun.
Pushing people in the direction of fun. So for the example here would be those spikes, which are telling me to keep moving, and like that's forcing. They're forcing me to move. Because that's more fun than staying. The idea that I need to melee to fill up my ammo.
Yeah.
They're forcing me to engage with the dashing and the melee, which they know this game is more fun when you're dancing around, like hitting things in the air. So they force you to do that by making your gun, your ammo based on that. They force you into closer encounters.
Sure, you're right, but they could have been even more extreme than that, right? Like they could have taken out the gun.
Yes,
like,
they could have.
No gun in here, and they'd be like, they could have been like, we know that the real joy of this game is melee combat, so why even have a gun in there in the first place?
Yeah, true.
But they also know that a lot of people have fun finding the way they do things.
Yeah,
the way they play. One thing I'm so the other thing we talked about, like or the thing I added in as a caveat, was about the pixel art.
Yes, yeah. I was just looking at that with this little guy that's following me around.
Yeah, and I really like a lot of what they're doing here. It's funny, having done a bit of pixel art now, you're able to look. I feel myself looking at pixel art in a very different way of kind of like, oh, how would I do that? How did they manage to shade that? And like, what's that color doing with that color? But the one thing that really stands out to me is, can you like jump on walls and run up walls for a bit? Like, just for a sec.
Yeah, I'll try. There's not that many walls here, but
no. But so it's a bit more obvious when she's sliding down.
Yeah.
That she becomes kind of a very flat plane up against the wall. And I think that's something that's just missing, that I didn't quite commit to with our Ladybird. I think she needs to really press up against.
Yes, and that's going to be like, we need to sit down and I need to show you the hitbox.
Yeah, well,
it needs to match the hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I mean, like, or I just made the sprite, like, I guess.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that, like, I haven't.
But might that look a bit weird? I suppose it's all happening so quick. One thing I would say as well, the size of this character is around the same size as our character, like, I think. So we were worried about that, and I don't think we need to.
Well, yes, but the visual look at, if you want to go into that, look at the visual space that character inhabits. It's much smaller than the potential space on our game, and she really stands out against the background, right? Mm-hmm. Like that big blob of white.
Yeah.
Like, if that's largely her character, then all you need is dark colors behind her, and you're always going to see it.
Yeah.
Whereas we haven't made that strong a distinction.
Maybe that's something to think about.
I think it might be. I think we're kind of locked into a Ladybird at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
But so what that would suggest, really, which we haven't done, is to use like paler blues and paler tinted out colors. I wonder if she's going to get a little lost against desert backgrounds, but like the vehicle has, it's actually the sail color is not too far from this, and it's got blues and things like that. So she stands out against those panels quite well, but we might end up changing some of the color palette. I think, sprites.
And it's a case of like getting more people, testing it with more people who are colorblind, and seeing if it is an issue.
I think for me it is a little bit like, yes, the character's roughly the same size, but it's also about how much there is going on around in the environment and how big that is. For sure. I would say even the animation speed makes me feel like this whole thing's fast. Even looking at the flames, like they feel oddly fast, which make me want to keep going. That's a very, it's weird, isn't it? That somehow that you can tell that animation's a bit off. There's something a bit fast about it. Yes.
Very deliberate. Very deliberate, and her idle animation, for sure. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna, as in, go up here and let's one
last run.
I knew this was gonna be a blooper, like swearing all the time.
Rogue-lites, they're gonna be like that, aren't they? For our streams. Dave's nicey narrative games don't really involve too much swearing, although occasionally there's, when something's
what?
Like when something's a bit kind of emotionally full on.
Yeah, like when you, I wish I was ill when you did the Firewatch one. I wish I was there for the start. Like you had no idea that was coming.
That was brutal.
God, last week was bad enough.
Yes, it was. This is cool. This is kind of like exactly the kind of game we need to be looking at in terms of. But I'm interested in. So shout out in chat if you've got any suggestions for this in platforming games that don't really revolve around combat. Like I mean, you've talked about Celeste being a bit of a puzzler.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something, seeing as you've played it, maybe like I should give it a go on stream at some point, or if there are games.
It might be good for you to, like, I mean, you know, I almost hate myself saying this. It might be good for you to play to feel it, because especially with the dashing, because like, I think, yeah. Have you played any games with a dash like this?
Yeah, like I have played. I played Dead Cells after watching you play.
Oh yeah, there's Dead Cells with dash.
Yeah, of course it does. It has a roll.
Yes, it has a roll. That's right. So interesting. So that, I think that's what's been screwing me up, is that in most games the dash makes you invulnerable.
Yeah. So like Gungeon has a dash.
Oh, and the kind of weird animated one that's really hard.
Oh, Cuphead.
Yeah. So I don't find this as frustrating as I found Cuphead. Like, I stopped playing Cuphead because I thought it was just. I found it too hard. Like.
Well, so that's really interesting, isn't it? I think that's an issue. That's the Dark Souls effect, isn't it? Like, it's just one boss to the boss. To the boss. Like, this feels like every room has enough difference to it that you're not just rinsing and repeating.
Also, I think it feels nicer. Like, there's something about this. Like, I mean, I remember playing. I've mentioned it quite a few times. I think maybe we somewhere, like deep in our channel, like I did a let's play of Geometry Wars.
Yes, we did.
Long time ago.
So wasn't I playing and you showed me?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I should go back and play. I feel like, because that's a game that is really quite hard, but you get into the flow really easily.
Yes.
But I just play that again and again and again, just getting that an extra 20 points, an extra 30 points, an extra 40 points. Or even Devil Daggers or something like that. Really, yeah. I'm exhausted. I've had a long day, and I'm like,
yeah, man,
like
no
this
worries.
I feel, like I realised, like, I had like a Skype meeting with some collaborators in Australia, which is really cool. But like, that was early this morning, and then like lots of good stuff. But just I'm really tired, and this is like exhausting.
A full-on experience. Yeah.
It's not particularly relaxing.
No, it's not a chill-out game.
But it's kind of a zone-out game, though. Like, it's really like,
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, so yeah, we got some useful stuff out of that, I think, Sean. Because some good chats, some good dev bants, as the kids don't say anymore.
Yeah.
So
they've got a Discord and a newsletter. So 2 buttons in their game: subscribe to the newsletter, join Discord.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry. You were signing off,
good.
I think.
No, that's yeah. I was. So, where can people subscribe to our newsletter?
You should totally do that. You should go to pillbug.zone and you should subscribe, because then you'll get access to the beta of Making It Home when we release that, which will be soon. Trademark.
And
and
thanks very much.
Click all the happy internet buttons, please. We love that. Everyone loves that. So yeah, thanks for coming.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye. We're still going. Pick this up on Steam. Like, buy the game. It's fun.
The link again is at the top of our chat. That wasn't the link.
Yeah.
Ignore that.
There you go.
Good sign off, everyone.
Yeah. Bye.